Right, welcome back. Let's get into the front pages of the newspapers, and we'll start off with the business day. So, business day this morning leading with the job survey gets tweaks. That's what it says. It says, Stats SA aims to improve informal sector measurement. It's to roll out an updated quarterly labour force survey questionnaire in the third quarter of 2025 to improve the measurement of informality and labour underutilization in the country. So that's the one they've taken on. Then the bank moves to allay target fears. Governor Lesetja Kganyago says the Reserve Bank needs a policy cushion. You just heard that with Tsepo Mongwai, who was talking about this, and has moved to allay concerns about a rift between the bank and the Treasury over changes to the inflation target, making it clear that conversations between the two continue and the official target still remains at 3 to 6%. In the corner there, Netanyahu, no choice but to defeat Hamas. SA security strategy, just a list of aspirations, and clicks edges closer to 100 billion rand milestone. Tourism gets a digital boost. This is a big one, and this is the Department of Home Affairs scheme to fast-track visa processing. And this is a big one that the Minister Leon Schreiber has announced a launch of a second phase on that one. All right, let me leave it there. Lots on the paper, but I'll stop at this point.
Moving on to the Star this morning, leading with Trump using Africa as dumping ground for convicts. Now, the continent treated as both a talent mine and human waste repository, says an analyst. Donald Trump and his U.S. administration are facing a significant criticism over what has been called a third country scheme to send criminals to Africa. And that, of course, along with the picture there. This is another story. Cape Town artist Ra poses with 115 red roses, symbolizing the number of women who report rape each day in South Africa. And this demonstration was part of the protest action titled The Truth Behind the Roses, which took place on National Women's Day on Saturday. 8.4 million veterans contracts scrutinized. The Gauteng Department of Sports, Arts and Culture and Recreation is slated after awarding over 8.4 million rand to companies claiming to be owned by military veterans, despite records showing some directors were born in the 1990s. And then Mbeki withdrew from the national dialogue. The former president shed light on his reasons behind his foundation's withdrawal from the national dialogue, and police offer 300,000 reward for information on the killing of 3 officers.
Right, on to the front page of the Citizen now, and this one they take on is high stakes of gambling. So while online betting has more people placing bets than before, more players are seeking help as addiction referrals rise. 40% is what they're quoting. Billions are also spent on advertising to promote gambling in South Africa, with one body warning of the social and mental risks of addiction. Photograph there, battle of the bulging muscles. Yes, indeed, bulging muscles. David Mberry lifts a 120-kilogram sandbag at Randpark Ridge in Randburg. In the Strongman Challenge on Saturday, pro-level athletes competed across various disciplines, including the car walk and truck pull. Shui Mberry won the Spirit Award. Goodness me. Okay. And then we've got just a couple of other stories, but the one that I think is sort of jumping out here is the Gayton and Co. The race row deepens. Podcast, McPherson and Mbalula also in hot water. And they're basically saying a slew of racism charges against political leaders and a podcast underscore the persistent racial tensions in the country and could destabilize hard-fought national building efforts. And that's according to an expert. That's where the article goes.
Sowetan leading with how Treasury cut spend on a dialogue. Air travel to National Convention for delegates close to Gauteng banned. Costs for hotel stay capped, and plan to buy smartphones also halted. A solidarity fund to be revived to manage private sector contributions as presidency confirms work to mobilize resources. And then a picture there of singer-songwriter Zonke Dikana performing with a band member at the Women's Day concert that was held at the Wanderers on Saturday. And at the bottom there, fears of violence in schools after guards are pulled. Also, meet the woman who defied hardship to succeed. And Kaizer Chiefs start the PSL season on a high.
All right, remember the SABC News website. You can get all the stories there and more, sabcnews.com. Set that as your homepage. And of course, remember, download that app, SABC Plus.